I've been driving a taxi in Detroit for 17 years. I've seen everything in this city. Fights, tears, confessions, goodbyes. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for what happened on that early Thursday morning. It was 4 a.m., light rain, empty streets. I was about to turn off the engine and go home when a man ran across the street. Police uniform, no badge, no gun. He opened my taxi door like he was running from hell. "Lock the doors," he said, breathless. "Now!" I locked them. And that's when I saw it. Dried blood on his shirt cuff, a crumpled envelope in his lap, and in the rearview mirror, a black car following us. "What did you do?" I asked, my voice shaking. He looked at me with shattered eyes and said, "I did the right thing, and now I'm going to die for it." That ride changed my life, and it almost got me killed. But if I could go back, I'd do it all again. This is the story of the night when an ordinary taxi driver became an accomplice to the truth. At 4 in the morning, Detroit feels like a ghost town. The streets shine from the recent rain, the neon motel signs flicker alone, and the silence has weight. I've driven a taxi in this city for 17 years. I've seen everything: couples fighting, addicts crying, businessmen passing out drunk in the back seat. But I had never seen a cop running like he was trying to escape his own uniform. I was just about to turn off the engine when he appeared. He ran across the street, glanced behind him twice, and yanked the back door open. He jumped in, slammed it shut, and before I could say anything, he said, "Lock the doors, now." I did what he said. I don't know why. Maybe because his voice was shaking. Maybe because a cop asking you to lock the doors means something is very, very wrong. He was sweating. Full uniform, but no badge on his chest. No gun in the holster. Dried blood on his shirt cuff. He was holding a crumpled yellow envelope against his chest, like it was the only thing that mattered in the world. "Where to?" I asked, adjusting the rearview mirror. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath. "Anywhere. Just don't stop." I hit the gas, pulled out of that empty street and onto the main avenue. The yellow streetlights cut through the fog. The wipers dragged the light rain side to side. Inside the taxi, the silence was unbearable. I looked in the mirror. He was hunched over, head down, hands shaking. He didn't look like a cop. He looked like a broken man. "You hurt?" I tried. "Not physically," he replied, still not lifting his head. Then I saw it, through the side mirror, a black car, dark windows, no plates, coming slowly behind us, keeping distance but never losing track. "Someone's following you," I said, gripping the wheel tighter. He opened his eyes, looked through the rear window, and for the first time since he got in, I saw real fear on his face. "I know," he whispered. "They won't stop until they find me." My stomach tightened. I didn't know who they were, but I knew I had just stepped into a ride that wasn't just a ride. It was a getaway. It was survival. And somehow, I was in the middle of it. I turned right, entering an industrial neighborhood, abandoned warehouses, burnt-out streetlights, dead-end streets. The black car was still behind us. It didn't speed up. It didn't fall back. It just waited. "What did you do?" I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. He lifted his head. His eyes met mine in the rearview mirror. Sunken eyes. Exhausted. Destroyed. "I did the right thing," he said, "and now I'm going to die for it." He opened the envelope, pulled out photos, documents, dirty money, faces I recognized. City council members, businessmen, high-ranking police officers, powerful people, untouchable people. "This is the map of everything," he continued, voice rough. "Trafficking, money laundering, contract killings, all funded by the police itself. I spent 8 months investigating on my own, gathered evidence, recorded conversations, and when I tried to hand it over to the district attorney, I found out he was involved too." A chill ran down my spine. This wasn't a mugging. It wasn't a gang dispute. It was something bigger, something that swallowed people whole. "Why didn't you run away somewhere far?" I asked. "Because my daughter lives here," he answered, and for the first time his voice cracked. "She's 7, lives with her mom in an apartment on the east side. If I disappear, they'll go after her. To make me come back. To make me shut up. The black car accelerated, got closer. They want this envelope, he said, and they'll do anything to get it. I slammed the gas. The taxi roared, picking up speed. I ran a red light, turned left onto a narrow street. The black car followed, glued to us now. "Why did you get into my taxi?" I shouted, dodging a pothole. He looked at me, really looked, and said something that sent chills through me. "Because you looked like someone who still believes it's worth doing the right thing." I didn't know if I believed that. It had been years since I did anything but drive. Take people from one place to another, never get involved, never ask, never care. But that night, with that shattered man in the back seat, and the truth bleeding between us, something inside me woke up. I turned again, pulled into an empty parking lot behind an abandoned hospital, turned off the headlights, waited. The black car drove past, disappeared at the corner. I breathed. He breathed. "Thank you," he whispered. But the night was far from over. I parked under a bridge. The river flowed dark beneath us. No cars, no lights. Only the sound of water hitting the concrete pillars. He stepped out of the taxi. I did the same. The rain had returned, thin, cold, soaking everything slowly. "You don't have to stay," he said, leaning against the side of the car. "You've already done more than you should." I lit a cigarette, hands trembling. "What's the plan now?" I asked. He looked at the envelope, then at me. "I have a contact, investigative journalist. She works for an independent paper. If I can get this to her, the story goes public. There's no covering it up, no erasing it. And you think that's going to protect you?" He let out a bitter smile. "No, but it'll protect my daughter. Because if the truth comes out, they have no reason to go after her. I become irrelevant." I understood. He wasn't trying to save himself. He was trying to save the only thing that mattered. "Where is she?" I asked. "At a 24-hour cafe downtown. She's waiting for me at 5 a.m. I checked the time. 4:40. 20 minutes, I said. "We can make it." He looked at me, surprised. "You're taking me." I dropped the cigarette and crushed it under my shoe. "You got into my taxi asking for help. I don't leave a passenger halfway." For the first time, I saw something like hope on his face. We got back in the car. I started the engine, and then, glass shattered. A bullet tore through the rear windshield, then another, and another. "Down!" he shouted. The black car had returned, and this time, it wasn't alone. 2 cars, armed men at the windows. I floored it. The taxi shot forward. More gunshots. The side mirror exploded, shards of glass flying. I swerved around a pole, turned into a side street, cut through an alley. "They're gonna kill us!" I screamed. "Not if you get to that cafe," he yelled back, gripping the front seat. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would burst. I wasn't a hero. I was a taxi driver. But that night, carrying the truth and a man risking everything out of love, I became something else. I turned right, pedaled to the floor, heading downtown, heading toward the journalist, heading toward the only possible ending. We reached the cafe 3 minutes late. I slammed on the brakes out front. The taxi was smoking. The windshield was cracked. Blood was dripping down my forehead. Glass had cut me. "Go!" I shouted. He opened the door, but before getting out, he looked at me. "What's your name?" "Marcus." "Marcus," he repeated. "You saved my life today, and my daughter's life. Then don't let it be for nothing. Go." He ran, entered the cafe. I saw through the window. A woman with glasses stood up. He handed her the envelope. She opened it, took pictures of everything with her phone. Then she hugged him like she understood the weight of what he carried. The black cars appeared at the corner. I honked. 3 times. He looked, understood. The journalist was already dialing, publishing in real time. The truth going live. Irreversible. He ran out, jumped back into the taxi. "Now they have no reason to kill me," he said, almost in disbelief. "The story's already out there." The cars stopped. Men got out. But they didn't shoot. They just stared. And then stepped back. I breathed. He breathed. "Where to now?" I asked, hands still trembling on the wheel. He smiled, a real smile for the first time. "To my daughter's house. I want to see her wake up." I drove slowly. The rain had stopped. The sky was beginning to lighten. Detroit was waking up. And the two of us, a cop who chose truth and a taxi driver who chose to believe, crossed the city in silence. When we reached her building, he tried to pay me. "Keep it," I said. "You're gonna need it." He shook my hand. Firm. "Thank you, Marcus. Truly." He got out. I watched him enter the building, saw the apartment light turn on, and then I saw a little girl running to the door, jumping into his arms. I wiped my eyes. I'm not sure if it was rain or something else. I started the engine and went back to the streets of Detroit. But that morning, something inside me had shifted. I wasn't just a taxi driver anymore. I was someone who had chosen to make a difference, even if only for one night, even if it almost killed me, because sometimes the right thing is the most dangerous thing, and still, it's worth it. I didn't go home. I drove aimlessly for an hour. Detroit's streets were waking up slowly, bakeries opening, garbage trucks rolling by, people heading to work. The city moved on, as if nothing had happened, as if I hadn't nearly died that night. I stopped at a gas station on the outskirts, got out of the taxi and looked at the damage. Cracked windshield, side mirror ripped off, bullet marks in the body, dried blood on the front seat, my blood. The attendant walked over, eyes wide. "Man, what happened?" "Long night," I replied, wiping my tired face. He didn't push, sold me a black coffee and a newspaper. I sat on the hood of the taxi, smoking, flipping through the pages, and then I saw it. Page 3. A small headline, but there it was. Investigation exposes police corruption scheme in Detroit. The article had been posted online at 5:15 in the morning. The journalist worked fast. Names, photos, evidence, all exposed. The whole city would wake up knowing. I took a deep breath. It worked. He had done it. I finished my coffee, tossed the cup, got back in the taxi, turned on the radio. The news was already talking about the scandal. Prosecutors being removed, officers being summoned to testify. The machinery of justice, slow and rusty, beginning to turn. I should have been happy, but I felt something strange in my chest. Weight, responsibility, fear maybe, because now I knew too much, had seen too much. And in cities like Detroit, inconvenient witnesses have a habit of disappearing. I drove to the river, parked at the edge, stayed there, watching the sun rise slowly, painting the sky orange and pink. I remembered his face, broken eyes, but still alive. I remembered the little girl running into her father's arms. It was worth it. My phone vibrated. Unknown number. I answered. "Marcus?" His voice, low. "Yes, just wanted to tell you. The story's everywhere. They won't be able to hide it. And my daughter is safe." I smiled, alone in my wrecked taxi. "I'm glad." Silence on the other end. Then, "You changed my life last night, and you didn't even know me." "Maybe that's what the world needs," I replied. "People doing the right thing without needing a reason." He took a deep breath. "If you ever need anything, you call me. I'll remember." He hung up. I stayed there a few more minutes. Then I started the engine and went back to the streets. Another day, more rides, more lives crossing mine by chance. But now I knew. Every passenger carries a story. And sometimes, just sometimes, you become part of the most important story of someone's life. Without knowing, without wanting, just by being there, at the right time, in the right place, with the doors unlocked,